Well, hello everyone, and welcome to our Monday night webinar. So here we have Miss Cindy Miller, and she's our Business Development Manager of Miller Aid and Destinations. How are you, Miss Cindy?
I am great. I'm doing so well. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm excited to share about my different accounts today.
Listen, thank you so much for being here. I always try to have as many suppliers as, my agents need. And I figure the more we put the suppliers in front of the agents, the more they're going to be drawn to your list of suppliers and your products. So I cannot
Excellent.
wait to see what you guys have for us. Take it away.
Excellent. Well, so glad. I'm going to share my screen now.
All
And
right.
if you don't mind, can you just enable
Yes.
me? That would be awesome.
All right.
And let's get this up there. So I have kind of an interesting company. I've been in business for about 20 years, and I have some great properties in the Caribbean, but I also have some other really interesting accounts, like a company called Salute Africa. That's a tour operator. So I'm going to quickly go through everything today with you guys. And Tyra, just give me the A-OK. Can you see my screen? Are you
Yes.
good for that?
Yes. Everything looks beautiful on this side.
Awesome. Okay, good. Excellent. So let's get going. I'm actually going to start off with Africa first. I usually end with it, and sometimes I feel like, oh my goodness, I need to put Africa first. So today I'm going to do Africa first, and I work for a boutique tour company called Salute Africa. They only work with travel advisors, and they're based in South Africa, and they specialize in the Africa continent. So just really quickly, I think that's something a lot of agents don't have lots and lots of business for Africa. So what's so great about dealing with the owner of our company, Salute Africa, is that she can guide you through putting together an amazing Africa package. You tell her how many nights, what level of accommodations, and the time of year and the number of people, and she will put a package together that can really do the job for you for South Africa, for East Africa, and for really the entire African continent. So keep Salute Africa in mind. They only work with travel advisors. So that I think is very valuable.
It
They
is.
do pay 15% commission on all of it, which is awesome. And I like to mention, people have to sometimes decide if they go to South Africa, you are going to see the animals, but you're also going to have a chance to see the culture, the winelands, Table Mountain. And one neat thing about South Africa is all of the vehicles are open air, which is great for viewing animals. There's also in South Africa luxury trains, amazing golf resorts. There's even the Kimberley mines, which is kind of how South Africa developed initially from all of these great gold and diamond mines. So just keep Salute Africa in mind. She does Botswana, the Okavango Delta. She does a lot of the Makoro safaris, Zimbabwe. And Zimbabwe is great because this is where Victoria Falls is. So it stands on the border between Zambia and Zimbabwe, and also Mozambique. So it's a really unique kind of corner of Africa, and it's an incredible waterfall. And in addition, there's lots of great game reserves that are very close to there. And then obviously we do a lot to Kenya and Tanzania, but keep in mind that if you pick Kenya and Tanzania, it really is all about the Africa part. It's all about the animals. It's about those experiences. If you do South Africa, there's a lot else that you can do. So I always try to define that a little bit. We also do Namibia, which is crazy. It's this unique desert. So just all in all, keep Salute Africa in mind. They are part of a consortia. They've been in business about 30 years, and it's direct pricing. So that's one thing that sets us apart, direct pricing, because you're dealing with, there's no office here in the US. You're dealing directly with Victoria and her team, who are based in South Africa. So it just means the prices are a little bit sharper for dealing with Salute Africa.
I like that.
Yeah.
Do
Have
you
you
know if they're
been?
part of Ensemble?
We're not part of Ensemble. We're preferred with some of the consortia, but not Ensemble.
Okay.
I wish we were, and maybe it's something we'll consider moving forward, but we're kind of slowly adding the different consortia because, of course, as a supplier, there's a cost
Yes.
to our company.
Yes,
So,
it is.
yeah. But anyways, have you been to Africa yet, Tyra?
No, but we do plan on going next year. We have a group trip set for South Africa. We're going to be in Cape Town sometime next year.
Excellent.
June, I believe it's June. We got so many trips, but I believe it's in June that we plan on being there.
Okay, great. Well, just keep us in mind. And if
We
you need any
will.
tips, reach out to me too. And just for your agents, we do a number of fam trips every year to Africa. So that's something for all of my accounts. I'll put up my information at the end, but feel free to reach out because I do FAMs to all the destinations that I'm going to talk to you about today. So,
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so next is Turks and Caicos. And Turks and Caicos, I work with 3 properties here. 2 are on the island of Providenciales, which, as a lot of you know, this is the biggest island, the most populated. I shouldn't say biggest, it's the most populated island. And Turks has about 30 islands that make up the chain. What's neat is there's only a few that are really populated. Providenciales is one of them. And then if you kind of look down in the south a bit, you'll see an island called Ambergris Caye, and that's the other island that I work with. It's a private island that I'll tell you about in a second. So on Provo, this is where most of the hotels that you know about are located. This is where the beaches is. There's some wonderful hotel products here. And just keep in mind, Turks and Caicos, amazing for beaches. So people looking for relaxation, they will love Turks and Caicos. There's, it's a little bit quieter, a little bit of a quieter island, great dining, a little bit more expensive, I'd say, than some of the other islands, but really a great choice for beach lovers. There are some good shopping places like the Salt Mills. And I work with 2 all-inclusive properties here. And what's neat is that the all-inclusive products, there's not a lot in Turks. In Providenciales, there's only actually 4. There's the Club Med, the beaches, and then the 2 properties that I work with. And because the dining is expensive, this is something you have to keep in mind. All-inclusive is a nice choice. So we have 2 hotels and about 10 restaurants between the 2 properties. And the hotels are called the Alexandra and the Blue Haven. And it's part of a chain called Turks and Caicos Collection. So we are all inclusive with a real boutique feeling. And we're less expensive than the beaches, and we're more than Club Med. So we would be really right in the middle. We connect our 2 all-inclusive hotels with a free shuttle bus, and all-inclusive, if you're staying at the Alexandra, you can use the Blue Haven and vice versa. So Alexandra is right next door to beaches. Great location, 4 restaurants here, lots of activities, kids program that's complimentary, biking, paddle boarding, and our rooms are really different. They're 1 to 4 bedroom. So really nice space in our accommodations, great for families at Alexandra. The other property is Blue Haven. This is in a little bit of a different area. This area is called the leeward area of the island of Provo. And what's nice about this is we have a very pretty beach, but you have beautiful views looking over to a lot of the other Turks and Caicos islands. This is not on Grace Bay, which is the famous beach. Our other property, Alexandra, is on Grace Bay. But what's nice about this is we have a marina on property, we have beautiful, beautiful guest rooms, and we have 4 restaurants. Lots of special events happen here too. We do weddings. We also have a weekly fish fry, which happens on Thursday nights at our property right here at Blue Haven. So just keep in mind these 2 hotels Blue Haven, Alexandra, all inclusive Turks and Caicos. And then I have kind of a private island that's called Ambergris Caye. And this private island is something for people looking for really unique honeymoon spots. It's very undeveloped. This is a shot of some of the Turk head cactus, which is very, specific to the Turks and Caicos Islands. It looks almost like a Turkish hat. And you will love, honestly, this island. It's super quiet, but very, very relaxing. We have our own airport. And when you book it through the tour operators, so whether you book it through Travel Impressions or Classic Vacations or GoGo, the airfare is included here. And in fact, everything else is included. You get a golf cart, you get private plane transfers, you get bicycles, and you have either homes or one-bedroom villas to stay in. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, all your drinks, all your spa treatments, and your activities are all included here at Ambergris Caye. So it is part of the Turks and Caicos Islands. It's a little confusing because there's another Ambergris Caye that's part of Belize, which I just got back from. And it's a little confusing. This Ambergris Caye does not have an E at the end of the key. So it's C-A-Y. So a little bit different. And these are our one-bedroom units. So this is a luxury spot. But I have to say, we have so many activities here. We have an adventure center. We run beautiful spa. And then we take people by boat to a lot of the neighboring islands. And you have a chance to be dropped off on one of these islands. And we pack picnic lunches, and people have you can stay for a few hours, or you can stay for a whole day, and we pick you back up on these incredible islands that are very private. So again, this is called Ambergris Caye, very unique. Now on the island of the Bahamas, I have a great, great property here. It's Margaritaville, which is right in downtown Nassau. So this is very interesting because Nassau is such a, interesting island, lots to see and do. And Margaritaville has two towers. We have the tower to the right, and then we have our kind of unique tower to the left. And next door is the cruise pier. So if any of you are coming through on a cruise ship and you want to visit, have a site inspection, maybe enjoy some time here at Margaritaville, please let me know. I'm happy to arrange it. So again, it's Margaritaville in Nassau, brand new property. This was not built from an existing property. This was built from the ground up, and it's not all inclusive. So as a lot of you might know, in the Bahamas, there's not a lot of all-inclusive choices. There are the Sandals properties, but there's not a lot else. And it's a little bit more expensive to do an all-inclusive here. Probably not a little bit, probably a lot more expensive. So that's why you see a lot of, room-only hotels. And ours at Margaritaville is one of them. But we have 12 restaurants. We have a beautiful water park called Fins Up. And just keep it in mind for people looking for something unique in the Bahamas, in Nassau. So on the country, because this is not an island, Belize is part of Central America. And Belize, I have to say, Tyra, this is one of my favorite places to go to. I was here last week. And it's interesting because Belize is about the size of Massachusetts.
Oh, wow.
So it's a country, but it's very small. And you've got the islands that are just off the shore of the mainland of Belize, but you have the jungle, you have ruins, and then you have the beautiful water that you'll find. And the island here that a lot of the development is on is an island where you can see on the map, it says San Pedro. And San Pedro is the capital of Ambergris Caye. And again, a little confusing, same as Turks and Caicos, but very unique island. So Belize is, you know, English speaking, but you'll hear some Spanish, you'll hear some Creole. They accept, you know, in a lot of places, the US dollar, and they have just a wonderful countryside. You'll find some Amish people, there's probably about 30,000 Amish people that live in Belize, and there's only about 300,000 people. So it's a very unique demographic. It has Garifuna people, it has Mayan people, and it has a lot of the Mayan ruins. There's about six areas, and within those areas you are going to find some incredible ruins. And many people will stay on Ambergris Caye and they'll do the ruins because they transfer by water to a lot of these ruins. This is a ruin that you can visit from our hotel, the one I work with. It is called Lamini, and for Lamini you take a boat and then you end up at this incredible Mayan area. And then there's also a ruin called Shenantovich, and this is up close to the Guatemala border. There's also a ruin called Caracol. And then you've got the cave tubing. So cave tubing is unique to Belize, really fun to do. And if you're a little claustrophobic, you don't need to worry because there's a lot of really tall caves. So you're not in very narrow caves, but there are some that can be really adventurous and people looking to have these unique experiences. There's one that's called ATM, and you kind of are doing a lot of crawling, and then you'll find some skeletons. It's incredible. So I love the country of Belize. Very unique, very easy to get to from the New York and Florida and Texas area, lots of nonstop flights. And then this is the island, Ambergris Caye. So Ambergris Caye has a little town called San Pedro. It's about 19 miles long by a mile wide. In San Pedro, no cars, just golf carts, really fun to rent a golf cart. And don't go to Belize for beaches, but there's a lot of scuba diving spots. And last week I had a chance to go to this spot here, which is in the Whole Tan Reserve. It's called Shark Ray Alley. And you actually get in the water, and there's a number of nurse sharks that will come up. They basically do some feeding of them, and they are really very benign, which is good. And then there's another area that we had a chance to snorkel in, and it is again in that Whole Chan Preserve area. And we had about 6 sea turtles last week that we saw, and also some spotted rays. So it was really cool. And then for divers, this is one of the top spots for divers. It's called the Blue Hole. And then this is the property I work with. It's the Alaya, and it is part of the Marriott Autograph Collection. It's a brand new property. And I have to say, we do complimentary pickup at the airport. We have great Wi-Fi, and this property is brand new and so charming. This is our section that's called the Vista. And then we also have great guest rooms. We've also got a section called the Reef House, which is a lower rise area that has 2 to 3 story units. And then we also have beachfront villas here at the Alaya. So Alaya, brand new property, 3 restaurants here, lots of bars. And then what I like about it, our dive center, this is where we take you to do the diving, take you to do the snorkeling, take you to do those excursions, cave tubing. And we've got a great water area. This is like our beach area here. And then most people do rent a golf cart, at least for a day. Really fun to rent the golf cart. And you can go over to Secret Beach, which is on the opposite side of Ambergris Caye. Very adventurous and fun to come here. And these restaurants are awesome. They serve you your dinner. You're actually in the water. They've got some places where your tables, like you're in your bathing suit in the water, and they serve your lunch or dinner, which is really fun. So I want to talk next about the Hilton Aruba, and I've been lucky enough to represent the Hiltons in Aruba for Hiltons in the Caribbean for a number of years. This one, the Hilton Aruba, is fabulous. As you know, Aruba, great island, very different topography. You've got more of a desert-like topography. And the Hilton Aruba was the first property built on the island of Aruba in 1958. So it is about almost 63, 64 years old now. And what's neat about it, this is where tourism began at this property on Aruba. And the developer picked the best spot to put the hotel when they were selecting the location. So we are right in the middle of Palm Beach, double the footprint of all of the other hotels. So we're next to the Riu, next to the Barcelo and the Hyatt. So we've got this great location, double the space, and we've gone through such nice renovations at the Hilton Aruba. We have beautiful fire pits and gorgeous guest rooms. We have 3 towers. We're on a stunning beach. We have lots of palapas. And we've done a full renovation of all of our pools. And we are not all inclusive, but we do have amazing guest activities. So we have activities like, you can see here the paddle boarding. You can do also yoga and Pilates. We do bike rides. All of it's complimentary. And then we've got a wonderful spa and then 5 restaurants on property and a large casino. So the one of the best things about the Hilton Aruba is we are right across the street from all of the activities. So you've got this hotel where you can just walk to dozens of, not dozens, hundreds of restaurants. So keep in mind the Hilton Aruba, it does win year after year. It runs the highest occupancy on the island, and there's a good reason why.
Wait,
So
Cindy, is it
next on,
walkable?
it is. Everything is walkable, Tyra. That's the
Okay.
best thing of this. You can walk to, in the front of all of the properties on the Palm Beach area, there's a boardwalk, and it goes from the
Ooh.
Divi Phoenix all the way up to the Marriott and the Ritz-Carlton. And we're right in the dead center. So you can walk to everything from there. And you just walk out our door in front on the opposite side, not the water side, and you've got shopping and great restaurants all within, a few 100 feet of the property.
Thank you.
So great location. And then on the island of Puerto Rico, I work with the Caribe Hilton, which again, this is a really interesting hotel. It's very close to Old San Juan, very close to El Moro, which is the beautiful historic fort. And what I like about this property is our location. Keep in mind, Puerto Rico, no passport required. During the COVID, problems, we did such high occupancy here because of the fact that the rules coming into Puerto Rico were the same as the US. So, and there were delays with passports. So, what was great is that if you were staying at the Caribe Hilton, you didn't have to worry, about getting your passport renewed. And we're really close to the airport, just about 7 miles from the airport. And we're walking distance to Old San Juan. So we have 3 towers. We have a historic fort. You can kind of see it in the front there. There's a historic fort that's built on property. And what I like about it, again, it's a true resort. We've got tennis courts and beautiful health club, about 10 restaurants, walking distance to all the activities. And this hotel has a lot of history. When Conrad Hilton, who started the Hilton hotel chain, was looking to expand about 70 years ago, this was the property that he selected. So he built this property and it opened as a Caribe Hilton 70 years ago. And it's where things like the pina colada were invented in our bar. So you can see some of the retro pictures here. And we did have damage with Hurricane Maria. As you know, that came through the Caribbean, and it did hit Puerto Rico. So we were closed for a while, but we did unbelievable renovations. And just when the pandemic was starting, that is when we reopened. So kind of bad timing, but it was good timing in a lot of ways because we were benefiting, from the restrictions that other islands had that Puerto Rico didn't have. So beautiful pools, beautiful guest rooms, lots of activities at the Caribe Hilton, and our restaurant choices. We've got a beautiful breakfast buffet. We have a Morton Steakhouse, and we have lots of things that I think Americans will like a Starbucks and a great kids program. So keep in mind the Caribe Hilton on Puerto Rico. It's also great for pre and post stays. If people are coming on a cruise ship, it's great. So next I'm going to talk a little bit about Dominica. Tyra, have you ever been to Dominica?
No, I have not. I have
No?
not.
Okay.
I
So
can't wait to learn more about it.
I know. Well, it's a really interesting island. It's called the Nature Island. And to me, it's a lot like Costa Rica because you've got these beautiful, beautiful mountains. You have just things that you don't find on a lot of the other Caribbean islands. So just to let you know, it's an island that's right next door to St. Lucia, also Martinique. So great location. And to me, it looks a lot like St. Lucia. You've got those beautiful mountains. And what's unusual is the fact that you also have incredible waterfalls. You have boiling lakes, you have hot springs, and it's not just one waterfall, there's hundreds of waterfalls, great hiking. So for any active people, this is an amazing, amazing choice. It's not an island you'd come to for beaches, though. I have to say it's definitely more of the black sand beaches, but it has adventures. Like this is some of the places you can go to. You can go to, this is Trafalgar Falls. There's Middleham Falls that you can walk to. There's a boiling lake that has a great hike. It's about a 2-hour hike to the boiling lake. It has something called T2 Gorge, which is a swim that you go through. And when you come to the end, there's an incredible waterfall at the end. And this might look familiar. This is where they filmed a lot of Pirates of the Caribbean because there are 3 Pirates of the Caribbean movies, and all of them, the three of them were all filmed, the majority of it on the island of Dominica, because it does have such stunning, stunning scenery. There's something called canyoning that I had a chance to do on my last visit. This is where you kind of canyon down, then you jump in the water, and then you swim on to the next canyoning experience. There's a hiking trail that goes all throughout the island. It's got about 115 miles, and these waterfalls just don't end. And I want to mention what's new about Dominica is that there's nonstop flights out of Florida, out of Miami on American. So they have never had air service into Dominica before. So these new flights are brand new. In the past, you had to come by boat or you had to come by islands like St.Marteen. And that's what's so amazing is that now you've got these great flights. So the property I work with is called Fort Young. Dominica is big for scuba diving also because you've got one incredible thing. You've got a few incredible things. One of them is something called Champagne Reef, where there's hot springs underwater that you can swim to, and the bubbles all surround you, these hot bubbles. There's also about 200 resident sperm whales that live year round off the coast of Dominica. And there's also a lot of whales that come through when they're migrating. So we have an in-water snorkel experience that is, has certain dates that you can actually swim with the sperm whales. So this is really cool. I'm actually doing it in January and I can't wait.
It's going to be amazing.
Really
They're huge.
I know they are huge because sperm whales aren't the little ones. They're the big ones. So really, really fun. So this is the property. This is right in Roseau, which is the capital. The hotel I work with, again, it's called Fort Young, and it's all inclusive, island inclusive. So our property walking distance to so much right in the town of Roseau, but we include the activities. So these hikes and experiences are all part of it, which is super cool. And we've just gone through a really nice renovation program at Fort Young. So keep it in mind. And then the sister property is Secret Bay, which is also really neat. So I love the island. Keep it in mind for people that want that activity, looking for something different, not just beach. And then on Barbados, I've got the Crane, which I've represented for a long time. The Crane is located in a really pretty area, kind of on the southeastern side of Barbados. We're about 8 minutes from the airport. We're about 15 minutes into Bridgetown, the capital. And this is our property. This is the Crane, which was one of the first resorts in the Caribbean. But has it grown? We took what was here and we've expanded, and we've added something
Wow.
called the Crane Village, which is really neat, with stores and a bank and a drugstore and restaurants. And then this is the property now. So you can see how much it's grown. It's really special.
Wow.
And you know what's neat is, in the past, Tyra, we had a little bit of an issue because you had to go down a bunch of sets of stairs to get down to
Mhm.
our beach. But we added this great glass elevator that goes down to the beach. And we've got a great new restaurant down on the beach area called The Grove. And our rooms at the Crane are amazing. They're 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom. There's some great studio units. We have a lot of private pools too. Most of the units have, some sort of private pool or plunge pool. I think about 80% of them do. And then we have 10 restaurants here. So, and then lastly, I just wanted to quickly go over St. Martin. I've been lucky enough to represent the tourist office for a number of years. And
Wait,
I
I got a
think
question. Is the Crane all inclusive by chance?
no, it's not,
Okay.
but we do all-inclusive packages, just like in Aruba. If there's a group or a wedding, a lot of times we'll do these all-inclusives. So the Crane will do that
Okay.
if it's a group, but not otherwise. So have you been to St. Martin? I bet you have.
I have. It was years and
Yes.
years and
Okay.
years ago, but it was
Okay.
beautiful.
Okay, good. Well, we are kind of unique because we've got the Dutch and the French, and the northern part is French, southern part is Dutch. We just stopped all of our COVID requirements. So finally, as of November 1, no more COVID tests. You don't have to be vaccinated. We're really happy that we've, opened up like most of the other islands have. And just keep in mind, Marigot is the Dutch capital. Philipsburg is the French capital, and English is spoken every place. US dollar is accepted. We have a lot of history and forts, and we have so many great flights coming into St. Martin. We've been so blessed with everyone from Frontier to JetBlue, American, you name it, they're coming in, which means that our prices to stay in St. Martin are reasonable. This is our airport, which is wonderful. We've got that unique airport, which has a really unique runway. The beach is right under it. So people all hang out here and get their pictures.
What's the
We've
name
got
of
a
that
big,
beach?
it's called Sunset Beach.
Thank
And
you.
it's directly next door to where the Sonesta Maho is. And this is a shot of this is a shot of the Sunset Beach Bar, which is really fun, always has live music, and they put up the time so you know exactly when everything is happening. And we've done a lot of improvements. We also had some damage from Hurricane Irma. So Hurricane Irma came about 2 weeks before Hurricane Maria went to Puerto Rico, and we had a lot of damage here. But we've been really building back. We have a new bridge that connects the French and the Dutch side together, which goes across Simpson Bay. Philipsburg, this is where the cruise ships come in, has that wonderful new boardwalk that kind of goes through downtown. And Philipsburg has a nice beach. It also has the Guava Berry Emporium. And then Marigot is a really pretty town also. There's a lot of history. This is the French capital. It has a great market area. Wednesday and Saturday, they do fish and fruit. We've got art galleries. And I think you know, St. Martin, it's known for culinary. So it's known for foodies, people that want a good meal. You will not be disappointed on St. Martin. We've got everything from gourmet dinners to really casual beachfront restaurants where you can get great, great food. We do have 12 casinos. And we're known for our beaches too. Each beach is a little bit different. Some have coves, some are long beaches like Orient Beach. And Orient Beach did have a lot of damage. This was where a lot of the damage happened 6 years ago when Hurricane Irma came through. But we have rebuilt all of the bars and the restaurants, so things look great. And most people rent a car when they come to the island and they can explore our attractions. This is a newer attraction, which is Rainforest Adventure, which is really fun. It's a very long zip line. It's actually the steepest zip line in the world, and you just can sit on it and you head down the mountain. There's also, and this is the more traditional zip lines, which are also at Rainforest Adventure. And then we have the Lottery Farm, which is a pool, restaurant, walking trails, and also zip lines. This is on the French side. And then we have a perfume factory. We have a delicious rum factory. We have lots of places that if you want to have some adventure, like the 12-meter challenge, where you race against another boat. And then we've got newer attractions like the Rusty Parrot and the Colombier tasting area. And we have breweries, just like back at home here. You know, having and tasting beer is really popular, and we've got some great breweries on island. And we're known for our nightlife, lots of things to do. And then there's islands like Pinel that are just offshore from St. Martin. Take a little boat over here and enjoy it. And then these are our neighboring islands. All of these you can get to really easily. We have a great ferry system that hooks together the islands. So if you're going to Anguilla, this is what the boat looks like, and it just goes over every hour. And it's only about a 30-minute ride over to the island of Anguilla. And St. Bart's is also really close. So our hotel update, just super quick, because I know I've gone on for a while, but super
No,
quick.
this is good information.
Oh, good. Well, the Sonesta is a great choice, Tyra. This went through big renovations. So you can see to the left, that is the shot of Sonesta Maho after Hurricane Irma. And to the right is what it's become. We only have 3 all-inclusives. We have the Sonesta Maho, Sonesta Ocean Point, and Secrets. So because of all of the dining that we have on the island, most places are not all-inclusive, but some people still want it. So this is a really good choice. This is Sonesta Maho for families. They have a big water park. They have kids programs. They do a lot of weddings here. And they have a casino on property. And then this is the Ocean Point, which is next door. This is the adults only section at Sonesta, which has a beautiful restaurant and some swim out suites, which are fabulous. And what's neat is if you're staying at Ocean Point, you can use the facilities of Maho. If you're staying at Maho, you don't have those because there's a price differential. But then another great property on the Dutch side is the Oyster Bay Resort. This is something, if any of your agents want to get away, we've got $99 travel agent rates this winter.
Wow.
So they do a lot of business. I've got a travel agent that's decided to go here instead of going to Florida for a few weeks. So if you've got some agents that are looking to get away, even in the winter time, this is a place that, you know, it's $99 per room. And this property is fabulous. They've done a great job, very pretty location. And again, it's called the Oyster Bay Beach Resort. And the units have great kitchens and sitting areas. And then this is the property next door, which is called Coral Beach Club, which is a villa style property. Very, very pretty. It has large private pools. And then there's Divvy Little Bay, which is always really popular. This is on the Dutch side. And then there's La Playa. This is a brand new hotel on Orient Beach, which is one of the famous, beaches on the island. And La Playa, I love this property, super charming. And another property that's just a door down is called the Orient Beach Hotel, which is another really nice property. It's just room only, but great location. And then Grand Cas is the village that has all of the restaurants. And this property is located kind of on the edge of Grand Cas. So you can walk right down into the town, short walk, it's really in town, this property. But what's great about here is they've got a great manager. They've really got so many US visitors, and most of our hotels do. Even though St. Martin, it seems like, would there be Dutch visitors or French visitors? We get a ton of US visitors. And these are the rooms at Grand Cas Beach Club. And then this is our luxury property. This is Belmont La Samana, which is fabulous. They've done a great job here with renovations. And they also have some villas. And then we have Esmeralda, which is a nice property located close to Orient Beach, and also a property called La Plantacion. And then Secrets is a beautiful setting. This is part of the AMR Resorts. Very stunning location, pretty beach. This is the other all-inclusive. And they've got a great pool area, great entrance here to the Secrets. And they've added some nice things. They have the marina with water transfers, but they've added these beautiful swim out suites, and this would be what the guest rooms look like. And there's 5 restaurants on property. And then we have something called the Morgan, which is really a newer property right by the airport. Then these are all the villa companies. If you get stuck on the island, reach out to me. I'm happy to help with some good agents if you ever want to sell a villa. What's neat is villas do pay travel agent commission, so keep that in mind. And these are some of the villas that are available. And we do get a lot of people that decide to stay here. So, and then this is my information. So, I represent the island of St. Martin, as you know, but also all of those other properties that I mentioned to you. And you can see here, this is my phone number. I'm based in Connecticut, and my email is right there with the AOL email. So, yeah, so that's a little bit about me. I hope I didn't go on too long.
No, Cindy, this is an amazing portfolio. So can you tell us, out of the portfolio, which ones are adults only?
Okay, so adults only. I really don't have any that are adults only.
Okay, perfect.
So it's really just on the island of St. Martin, Ocean Point, and Secrets would be adults only. But everything else, from the Crane to Margaritaville to the Aruba Hilton, they're all for everyone. But I always say, if you want to kind of avoid being with a lot of kids, the time to go would be September, October, May, June. You'd have a lot less families during those periods. So just keep that in mind, especially September and October.
All right, so September and October. All right. I'm over here trying to take notes at the same time. This is absolutely amazing. Like, listen, we have to talk more about Margaritaville. Me and I think it's maybe about 20 of my agents. 20. It's a group of 20 of us. We're gonna be on MSC next month actually, and we're gonna be stopping in Nassau. And so
let me know. We can arrange a site inspection, and if you wanted to do some day passes, just let me know. I'm happy to talk about that.
Okay, perfect. So after we stop recording, listen.
Okay.
That will be perfect. I'll have the information for them just in case they want to go. If not, if they want to go do an excursion, that's the option. But since it's so close to the pier, I've visited Nassau like so many times. I would love to personally come visit myself if no one else wants to come.
Perfect. We'll arrange that then.
All right, let's see. All right, so I'm just typing in best time to visit. Hit free. Free. All right. So this is absolutely amazing. And so what I'll do, I'll release the video. If any of my agents have any questions, listen, they have your information. They can they reach out directly to you, or can they do they have to go through me?
Absolutely. No,
Okay.
no, absolutely. My information was at the end. So, email is always great just because if I'm traveling, but my
True.
phone too, you got my phone. So either way, whatever works.
So how do we do groups with how do we do
So
we contact you for groups? Do we go directly to the
yeah,
properties?
you
Like how
can.
do
No, you can. I always try to send an introduction. Like I had an agent today that was booking a group to Africa and she sent it without copying me. And Victoria didn't see it. Somehow it got like lost. And if I
yes.
can see it, then it helps me follow it. So I always think a little bit of an introduction and then I kind of introduce you all. I think that's always the best way. So if you have any groups, just
Perfect.
let me know. I'm happy to. It doesn't matter to me who you book it through, like whatever tour operator you use, but I think I can help follow it. And if you book anyone to any of these properties, send me a note and I'll put a VIP request, like looking for an upgrade, but we'll also put something special in the room from you or your agents, and we'll mention the name of the agency. So it's just nice having these relationships because I
Yes.
can help, make your clients see that using a travel advisor is the way to go.
I love it. I love it. Okay, perfect, perfect. We will take note of that. I got it all here in the notes for the South Africa country company. Was it Salute Africa?
Yes, salute. Salute. Salute.
All right, Salute.
Africa.
Salute. Okay, I try to take notes. Okay, this is perfect.
And if anyone needs information too, I forgot to mention, just email me because I have
Okay,
packets made up now that so much is happening via Zoom. Just email me your information. I'll mail my business card, a packet of all of the goodies that I have on the different islands. So I've got those packets all made up, ready to go.
okay. So, and then for South Africa, I think if anything, I would like to set up a safari ride for the group members and
Yeah.
have it optional. So I do want to talk to you about that off when we get done with the webinar. But this has been an amazing webinar, Cindy. Thank you so much for
Yay.
your time today. We went over a lot of different properties and we got to see a lot of pictures. Like this was amazing. Thank you so
Oh,
much. Your
great.
portfolio is huge. It
Well,
really
thank
is.
you for arranging it. I'm so excited to work with you moving forward.
Listen, we love. We cannot wait to get a what's new. Maybe we can meet like maybe once a month, once every 2 months to see if anything's new, what's new, what's
That
going
sounds
on.
perfect.
The more I put you in front of my agents, the more
Absolutely.
they see you. So this is perfect. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
All
thank you,
right.
thank
Thank
you.
you guys.
All
Thank
right.
you.